God. Dude, you said you wouldn't say everything looks like shit.
Sorry if I see things for what they are.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Alright, saw X-Men Dark Phoenix yesterday, and I really didn't like it. It was a really bad film. Oh boy, Godzilla was better than that. Like, wow. I cannot believe how bad the movie was. I'm like in shock, like it's almost like a dream. Like I woke up and I thought it was a dream that I saw it, and it was that bad. Couple positives, I guess I'll just say the positives right off the bat. There was a couple good scenes involving Dark Phoenix. I'm probably going to have spoilers in this too, so if you don't want to be spoiled, just fucking leave, do that, leave. But yeah, in this movie, Dark Phoenix kills Raven, so I thought that was pretty cool that happened in the movie. And there's also a scene near the end where Professor Xavier is lifted out of his chair and like forced to walk up these steps to Dark Phoenix. I thought that was pretty badass and cool. The train sequence looked nice. It was too short, and it was the only action set piece in the movie, which is pretty shocking considering that this is an X-Men film. So I was a little let down by the lack of action, I guess you could say. And it felt like they were taking like the lazy way out every time. And boy, that's about it, for my positives. I really didn't like this movie. There was a lot wrong with it. And I think the blame squarely falls on the director, because the director is either asleep at the wheel or it's somebody that's never directed a movie before. And then I looked at the IMDb, and the director of this movie, I already forgot his name. I think it's like Simon Kinberg or something like that. And you look at his resume on IMDb, and the guy is mainly a producer. He's produced 33 films. He's only directed 3. And that's the problem with this movie. It doesn't have a good director behind it. All the shots in this movie are completely uninspired. There's this horrible studio light throughout the whole fucking film. It looks horrendous. Everything looks like plastic. Like from Xavier's like helmet that he puts on inside that machine. I already forget the name and everything. But that looks like plastic crap. His chair has this fucking goofy X on the back. And it looks so cheesy and so fake. And that's the vibe of this whole movie. It's just fake. Studio-made crap. And this movie's also written by Simon Kinberg. So a fucking producer decides, hey, I'm going to write the film and direct it. I'm going to save money. Was there a fucking writer's strike happening at the time? Like, why is there no writer for this movie? They couldn't get anyone better than a fucking producer? You know what I'm saying? Where's the director? No director wanted to sign on to do this? What the fuck happened to this film? I want to see the behind-the-scenes story on what the fuck happened with this film, because this is horrendous. What a shitty way to end your X-Men franchise. And it really wouldn't be that bad if this movie was like the second movie in the franchise, and Days of Future Past, that was the last movie. That would be better. But then again, if Dark Phoenix was the second movie in this franchise wouldn't exist right now. That's how bad this movie is. It doesn't stay in line with anything that came before. The tone is wildly different. It doesn't feel like an X-Men movie at all. And the Hans Zimmer music, it doesn't save it, guys. Like, the music is all right. The music's good. I probably would listen to the music by itself, but it's not enough to save the movie. This is a disaster on epic proportions. This is way worse than Godzilla. I actually saw Godzilla again for a second time. And while the story and the characters are still horrendous as fuck, I was at least able to enjoy the action a little bit more. And I would probably watch Godzilla again for the action. I would probably fast forward to the action scenes. And, that's why I would watch that movie. This Dark Phoenix movie, though, I might watch it again because I just don't believe how bad it was. That first time I watched it. It's almost like I'm in a parallel reality, because this, it was the worst thing I've ever seen. And, people are talking about a specific line in the movie. You might have already heard it, where Raven goes, "Women are saving you guys a lot around here. They should call it the X-Women." That line, granted, is a pretty dumb line. But it's not bad because it's super, feminist and weird. That's not why it's bad. It's really bad because Raven is in her human form when she's giving that line. So she's being an extra hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Raven has been the character in this franchise that has seen her human form as something to be ashamed of. Her natural form is what she really is, and she's proud of that. She doesn't resent her natural look, you know? She resents the fact that she has to put on this human persona to be accepted by the public and stuff, right? So why the fuck would Raven still be in her human form when she's in private talking to Professor X? Like, where's the attention to detail? Did you forget what kind of character you have right now? Or were you too fucking lazy to actually put makeup on her for that scene? And you want to save a few fucking bucks by not putting any of that Raven makeup on her. Is that why she doesn't change back? You know, is that why she's in her human form so much? That's what made the scene bad. And then the line on top of it, they should start calling it X-Women. That was just like a punctuation on how bad the scene was, right? Because Raven comes off as such a hypocrite in this scene, and this whole movie, for that matter. She comes off as such a hypocrite. And then she's going to act like the morally superior one. It's fucking hysterical. But yeah, a lot of bad writing in the movie. A lot of times they're not paying attention to character details and stuff, and it just got really annoying. I was really thinking about walking out about 20 minutes in, but then it turned into like this beautiful like train wreck. You know, I just wanted to see this fucking disaster play out. And it ends on such a bad note. And you know, what this movie's really about is cults. That's what it's about. It's about how people get sucked into cults. That's what it really is. And the last, the alien bad guy is essentially feminism. Like that's what it is in the end. It's Phoenix getting sucked into cults. That's what it is. That's what the whole movie is. And I don't know if they were trying to be clever with that theme, but it came off as really apparent and then came off as cheesy and not subtle at all. Like, there was nothing subtle about the metaphors they were using or the themes they were using. This movie was just bad. It was really bad. I might go watch it one more time just to see if it gets better the second time. I don't think it will. But I just want to see if it's as much of a train wreck as the first time I saw it. But yeah, where would I rank this among the X-Men films? Because, you know, I like the X-Men films. I really do. I much prefer the X-Men universe to the MCU universe. Any day. Any day. First Class was amazing. Days of Future Past, amazing. Apocalypse, it's better than this fucking movie. At least Apocalypse had a director. I know a lot of people don't like Bryan Singer, but at least he has a resume and he's actually made good films in the past. And he did a great job with Days of Future Past. Thank you, Bryan Singer. At least you can make good X-Men films. Because I would watch Apocalypse 10 times out of 10 over Dark Phoenix. I'm about to watch Apocalypse right now, actually. That's how much I want to watch that movie. That's how bad Dark Phoenix is. It makes me want to watch Apocalypse over and over for the rest of my life. So where does it rank among the other X-Men films? Is it better than X-Men Origins Wolverine? I think is the real question here. And it's close. Is it better than the X-Men Origins Wolverine video game? No. Dark Phoenix is worse than the X-Men Origins video game. It might be a tie with the actual X-Men Origins movie. That's where I would rank Dark Phoenix. It's at the bottom. But then again, I have to go see it again. That might change, but it's really bad. I cannot stand this movie. I cannot believe what I just saw. But yeah, that's it for now. Comment below. Let me know what you thought about Dark Phoenix. One more thing I'd like to interject, though, about why this movie is as bad as it is because I don't think this was meant to be the end of the X-Men universe. I think they were making this movie before Disney bought Fox. And like the big behind the scenes thing is that they probably reshot the last third of this movie, which makes sense. And I think they did reshoot the last third of this movie because they were planning on making more films. Like, this was not going to be the ending. This Dark Phoenix movie was just going to be the first chapter of another trilogy of films. The film after Dark Phoenix was going to be based on another character. Then the film after that was going to be based on another character, you know. It probably would have been like Magneto-centric film. And then the film after that would have been a Professor Xavier, a centered film, you know. I think that's where they were going. I think that's the only way this Dark Phoenix movie makes any sense. Because there's no reason why they would ever make this film if there wasn't going to be other films. This is not an ending of a franchise. This is not the ending of anything. This is like a middle chapter or a beginning chapter of an entirely new series of X-Men films. And I think that's painfully obvious. I think that's what kind of brings the film down even more. Because I would much rather X-Men Apocalypse be the last X-Men film. You know? Or Logan. You know, Logan is the perfect fucking, Wolverine film. And it's what everybody should watch to end the X-Men franchise, right? That should be the last film you watch after you watch all these X-Men films, is Logan. Because that ends everything on such a great note. Because it's such a good movie. But this Dark Phoenix movie is such shit. You can't end it like this. Like, this cannot be the ending. But anyway, it is worse than Godzilla. I'll give you all that. Godzilla is definitely better than this film. 100%. Anyway, that's it for now. Let's see you on the next one. Bye.
It's Adam Sandler in Rated ARG for Pirates. You.
That is pretty good. How can you say that looks good?
Shh, you're doing it again.